I don't know what he was about to shout out, kids. 2 seconds, I'm just opening the door. No, don't apologise. How are you, lovely? Good, good, good. Hello. That was a bit of a close-up of my sweaty forehead, everyone. Sorry. Welcome. We are here for our Friday Inspiration Live with Knit With Me. It's hot. I'm at the window. You can tell I'm hot. And that was temperature, not, yeah, you know what I mean. We've got some workmen coming to do some work in our basement, so we're going to see. I'm convinced that they'll turn up right in the middle of this live, so I might have to move things around. Just bear with us. I'll go into that in a minute. How is everyone? Where's everyone joining from? Also, to let you know a couple of little things. One is, can you let me know if you think the volume and the sound quality is better on this video? If you've been to one of these before, I feel like such a imposter because of this. If you're on Instagram lots, you probably see lots of people with these little mics and holding them in their hands, and I basically stick my phone on the top of the lock on the door, and welcome from Sweaty Hampstead, I hear you. And there's lots of people that don't use Instagram, and those lovely people are not getting access to these videos. So we had thought about uploading these to YouTube for people who don't use social media, but we tried it and the volume wasn't great. So husband, Mr. Techie, loves a gadget. This arrived through the door and I was like, oh, I really don't want to be using a mic. He's like, no, give it a go, we'll get it set up. So the thing is though, is it needs something attached to the bottom of the phone. So I can't now attach the phone to the door. So now we've got a tripod as well. So I feel very silly. I'm glad to hear it all sounds good. Brilliant. We'll see if it's good enough for YouTube. So with that, by posting this on YouTube, what we're also going to do is I struggle to write the names of all the patterns and all the yarns we're talking about in these underneath this live when I repost it to the grid, because there's just too much text and Instagram doesn't like it and it either crashes or deletes it. So we started a blog page on the website. After we do a live, we're going to put all the pattern names with the links and the yarn suggestions and the links there. And then we'll also add a link to this on Instagram, and if we get it onto YouTube, a YouTube link as well. So if you're not an Instagram person, all the information will be there, but we'll still be, sorry, morning hiccups again. We'll still be posting this on our grid. So if you prefer to watch it and scoot through it to the bit you want to see, it'll all be there. But just trying to make it as accessible to as many people as we can. So that's the first thing. So please don't laugh at my little mic. I'm not trying to be like an influencer or anything. Also, I was working yesterday on the newsletter, and it's kind of like aligned with this Friday Instagram live, so that'll be going out tomorrow. So if you're not signed up to the newsletter, I send maximum one a month, unless I'm sending one about a new quarter timetable of workshops. So one a month maximum. You're not going to get inundated, so sign up. And if you don't like what I'm saying, you can unsubscribe again. And I'd said that we might have some work guys coming in. It's all in the newsletter, you can read about it there, but we had a water mains burst on the street. I posted loads of videos. Everyone has been so lovely. Thank you to everyone. We've been brought coffees and biscuits, and we love you guys, and it's kept our energy and motivation up, but there's still a lot of work going on in the basement. We've had to move a lot of the stock upstairs. It's taken us a little bit longer to find things when you come in stores, so thank you for bearing with us. We had a system, we knew where everything was, and now we're not sure. So thank you very much for that, but that might be people coming in and out today. Someone's asked, where do we sign up? If that's for the newsletter, you can do it at the bottom of any page on the website. Very good question. So just go to the website, www.knitwithme.co.uk, and scroll down to the bottom, and you can put your email in there and you will get it, and that will go out tomorrow. I think that's all the boring stuff, all the admin over with. How's everyone been enjoying the heat? Not enjoying the heat, coping with the heat. I find, and I was telling the girls, that I find that the shop takes like a day or two to adjust to whatever the temperature is outside. So when it got really hot to start with, there was a day when it wasn't too bad in here, and then it got hot. It is cooler today outside, but it'll be a day or two until it drops in here. It is so hot. We've got 2 Dyson fans. We have nets on all the windows and we've got them open. But I guess like where you are probably as well, there's just no breeze, there's no air, is there? Graham and I were sat on our little balcony outside our flat on Sunday, thinking we were being really clever because our balcony's here, this is our building, and the sun was over here. So we had an entire concrete building between us and the sun. I'm not like, we didn't have an umbrella and it could have got through. It literally, you couldn't see the sun. It was behind a building. And I still got burnt. It was like 8 o'clock at night and I got up and went into the toilet and saw myself. I feel like such an idiot, but look, like properly teenage silly burnt. So I'm a bit annoyed with myself about that. Wear sunscreen, even if you think you're in the shade. Not so sunny in Portsmouth. Oh, I've said this before, haven't I, to you, lovely? My husband's from Portsmouth and his family live down there. Drinking coffee, using Titicaca and Fiesta. I love that colour. The colours are beautiful. Yes, we want to see what you're making. Are you holding it double? It might be in one of the baskets here as well for today. So, if you haven't been to one of these before, this is just once a month. We come on, we do a little bit of chat, we find out what everyone's up to, and then we go through a couple of knitting patterns that either we want to make or have been in our to-do list for a long time, or things that have just newly come out that we really fancy, and we let you guys see and we give you some suggestions for yarns. It's funny with summer ones because a lot of them, sorry I keep hitting this with my hand, there's a couple of these patterns today that there are so many options, we would be here all day. So I'm going to give you my top, like if I was making it today, this is what I would cast on with. But then if you go to our blog post, should be up later on today, we will have a list of all of the things that we think would be suitable, but we just don't have time to go through all of them. My throat's really dry today. Is everyone knitting summery things and stuff at the moment? Are you enjoying it? Are you all weather knitters? I definitely am. Right, let's get started then. So as I say, all of these patterns, this will be put on the grid. You can go through it again later at your own speed, make notes, or wait until the blog post goes up with all the information. So, one of our lovely customers contacted me yesterday. Oh, I can't remember if it was in response to me saying that we were going to go live, and she mentioned this pattern and I immediately took a photograph because it was number 1 in my list today. So we obviously see the same sort of things. So this is the new Rose pattern that's come out. Rose as in R-O-W-S, Rose Knitwear. And it's a collab between Rose and Piju Abaza, who's a designer. And they've come out with this top and I think it's going to be Marmite, but I love it. Like, love it. I love it. So this is it here. It's called the Aura Top, O-R-E. And I'm going to try and find some photos. So the first thing you can see is there's quite a asymmetrical thing going on, which, oops, I love an asymmetrical hemline, or like one shoulder slightly longer than the other, or an off-center neckline. I love it. And this has got a few going on. So it's got a strap and a slightly longer sleeve. It's got a non-central V-neck. And then if I can find some other pictures, you can see here it's got a little drawstring that you can pull up or leave and a split at the other side. I'm going to try and find some other pictures. So yeah, there you can see the split here, and it has this lovely little eyelet detail as well. So I love it, like genuinely love it, and it's going to be the next thing I cast on. And I say that a lot about stuff I show on here, and then new things come out, but you are all witnesses. This is my next cast on. So it's suggesting a sport weight yarn. It's wanting you to knit it on about a 3.5 and get a 24 stitch gauge. Makes sense as a sport weight to me. Sometimes you'll hear me, they'll say things and I'll go, I don't know, that doesn't make sense. So, top options, and this is the biggest basket we've got, because I think with this, you could go for something a little bit thinner, still get 25 stitches on about a 3.5. Would be a little bit more open, but would be a beautiful drapey, quite sophisticated dressy knit. Or you can go for something like in the pictures of this Aura top, which is a little bit more of a closed fabric, and it's kind of like, I use this term sporty luxe type vibe a lot, but that's what it says to me. So our top options, and there will be more options on the blog, but this is where we're going to start. So our go-to one, well, we got a couple. Vea would be beautiful, and I had to pick this one because there's a new green that's come out and I love it. So Lang Vea, this is a mix of 74% cotton, 16% wool, 10% yak. Oh, are you noticing this, that the camera keeps, maybe I'm getting too close, it keeps going in and out of focus. This is a beautiful drapey style yarn. It's got the slightest sheen to it. It's not shiny, it just has a very subtle sheen. We've got a ton of colours. We have these quite bright summer colours. We've got some more autumnal colours as well. We've got a beautiful blue and green, which are almost blue, black, green, black. And I do have a top knit in it, if I can find it, just to show you the fabric that it makes. So this is one I made last year, and you can see it's got a lot of drape, a lot of movement, a very slight sheen to it. And that would be lovely for that pattern. And you would get a nice closed fabric, like you see in the photographs, but with drape and movement, and the majority of it is cotton. So that would be great. Another one that we thought that would be good is Albertine. Let me just grab some Albertine. Whoops. So this is Albertine, and this is one of the yarns that gets, it's like got lore in the shop, like history. It seems to get overlooked by so many people. We've moved it to different shelves. We now have it facing you as you walk in the door. It isn't the biggest seller at all, but I adore it, and I kind of like refuse to get rid of it. I'm going to convince you all to try it. So it's a merino and silk mix. It's 90% wool, 10% silk. It has a very, very subtle sheen. I would call it more satin than shiny. It knits beautifully. It's so comfortable to knit. It's got a really, I don't know if you can see, it's got a really strong twist to it. And it almost feels like you're knitting elastic. And then when you block it, your stitches just look so even and beautiful. But we have this in all the colours that they do, so you can have a look online. That would also be great for this top. Another one would be Alice. Alice is a newer yarn from Duray Room. You can tell we love Duray Room. This is 75% wool and 25% linen. And I have to say, every time, and the girls will say I'm not lying, every time I go past this in the shop, I pick it up off the shelf and I have to go like this. Because there is something about it. Amelia's knitting with it now and adores it. I'll show you the pattern and show you what you're doing. It is just so incredibly squishy and bouncy and beautiful. They've got some new colours that came out because it was quite a delicate palette. This buttery yellow is stunning. But they've brought out, we've got like more colours, a bit brighter. Like Antigone though, this is like a really short run yarn. They still have some stock at the moment, but I believe it's using the same linen as their 100% linen. And because it's on such a short run, it runs out quite quickly. So we did buy a lot of it, but I'm not sure how long this is going to last and how much more we'll get this year. So that would also be great for the closed fabric. Another one I was just going to quickly mention for this one, just because I'm knitting with it just now, is this one here. This is, I keep saying Pure Silk. How would you pronounce it? Pure Silk. There you go. Do you pronounce the R? Her. Yeah, you do. Pure Silk. So this is 30% Tussah silk and 70% French linen. And I'm going to just show you. It's got quite a lot of texture and quite a lot of marbling. I believe that's just from the different materials that make it up, taking up the dye in a different way, but it makes for a really nice, interesting fabric. It isn't flat, but it's also not shiny. I'm knitting with this just now, and I'll show you later what I'm making. This would be slightly more open. In fact, I can show you. This is going to make a slightly more open fabric. So we have swatches all around the shop with little tags saying what needle size we used and what gauge we got. So it's going to look a little bit like this one, this top one. And as you can see, it is more see-through, but with a nude coloured bra under that would look gorgeous. And that would be a dressier version, lots of drape, really beautiful. Yeah, I think that could be really gorgeous for it. But yeah, I just adore that pattern. I think it's so different to anything else I've seen at the moment. And the customer I was speaking to, she was talking about maybe even doing the sleeve, like one long sleeve with the short strap. But yeah, a bit different. I don't know what you guys think of that one. Let me know. Is anyone else going to cast it on with me? I don't know what... Oh, that was the other one. Sorry, my bad. For a super, what's the word? Affordable version. I completely forgot. We have onion cotton. So this is 100% organic cotton. We've got about 18 colours. This is a sport weight cotton. It would be perfect for it. And one of the samples that they've knit have used 100% cotton. So it's great for this. This would be brilliant. Again, do I have something knit in it to show you the fabric? So I knit this with it. The crazy thing about this is you can use this cotton as a sport weight or a DK. This is knit on a 4mm needle. And you can still see that it's still quite closed. But it's beautiful. It does, the girls say that they think it looks a little bit shiny in the ball. It's not mercerized, and when you wash it, you can see that there isn't any sheen to it. Really well behaved, lovely to knit with cotton. And I'm not the neatest knitter, but you can see, I mean, if you're not a neat knitter, cotton is the thing that's going to show it up. But you can see there that everything looks really even, really nice, well behaved cotton, and it's under £6 a ball. Really, really great cotton for any of your summer tops, summer vests, anything on a 3 to 3.5mm needle typically, it would be great. So let me just check I haven't missed anything. My goodness, we're already at 20 past. That was the one that had the longest number though, because a lot of these patterns use the same yarn, so I can just refer back to it. It was definitely the biggest basket. Right, next one. It's so funny when I find something and I think, oh, I haven't seen that anywhere. I've found a treasure, and then I show Amelia and Amelia's like, oh yeah, that's been in my mum's to-do list for forever. And I'm like, dang it. So you've probably already seen this one. This is the lace polo tee by May Friday. Oh, sorry. I'm not used to there being a tripod here and I keep kicking it. This one's difficult to see, I think. There, if I get it in the shadow. So it's this beautiful little raglan tee with this gorgeous little, if I get it out the sun there, I don't know if you can see it, little picot edge collar. Really, really sweet. I think that's the word I would use to describe it. Let me find another picture. Maybe this one's easier for you to see. Oh, sorry, there's so much glare off the window. There. Really pretty. And oh, I should have said that first one, that the asymmetrical one, that's knit in 2 pieces and then sewn together. I usually check all the construction details because I know some people hate some things and love other things. So this one with the picot little collar is top down raglan, and the designer is recommending knitting for olive pure silk held double, which absolutely for this, but it's on a big needle. Like, she's knitting it on a 4.5. Typically we'd say maybe around about a 4, but on a 4.5 all it's going to do is make it slightly more open and give it more drape and get more air through it. So something you might not know, knitting for olive pure silk, that's this one here. This is what the designer's recommending, holding double. So you would just pull from 2 balls at once, hold the yarn together and just pretend it's 1 string. Knitting for olive pure silk is 100% interchangeable with knitting for olive merino, which is the 100% merino variant, or knitting for olive cotton merino. And cotton merino is, I always forget the percentages, 70% cotton, 30% merino. So all 3 of these, depending on the finish you want and the drape you want and what sort of weather you want to be wearing it, any pattern that asks for any of these, you can swap out another for it. They all work to the same gauge. So she's suggesting 2 of the silk held together. Absolutely, probably what I would do actually, and make it really summer-like. But if you wanted something for spring, you could do double cotton merino instead. You could hold 1 cotton merino together with 1 silk. You could hold merino together with silk, or 2 merino. You get the idea. So all completely interchangeable. And also I would say that the colours on the merino look pretty much the same as the colours on cotton merino, but I think the colours on silk look a little bit more washed out, isn't the right word, just a little bit more, I don't know what the word is. Muted. I don't know if, yeah, muted. I'm trying to find the same colour. Bear with me, everyone. Oh, I've just realised the speaker, my little microphone's coming with me, so I don't need to shout when I walk away from the camera. That's so funny. So these are both pea shoots. So this is pea shoots in merino. This is pea shoots in the silk. They're slightly different. Yeah. So just so that you're aware. But they can all be used interchangeably, held double. Perfect. If you wanted something with a bit more drape and a very subtle sheen, because the silk from Knitting for Olive is completely matte, it's raw silk, I would definitely go with Arctic Pearl. Now Arctic Pearl is sea cell, and it's a mix of sea cell, lyocell, and I keep wanting to say bamboo, seaweed. And it is beautiful. It's got so much drape. There's so many lovely colours. It's difficult to pick you up now because you're not on the door. I'm going to try and just move the camera, the whole tripod. So, bear with me, kiddos. Ooh, there we go. So, this is Arctic Pearl here, and we got all the colours in. We got some darks, some autumns, lots of neutrals, a bright sunflower yellow. And those, let me get you back on, those I would use exactly the same as what it's suggesting for knitting for olive. So I'd hold 2 strands together in that. The little picot edge is done with a little crochet hook, and there's instruction videos for that picot edge, but I just think it's really, really sweet. And Amelia said it was on her mum's to-do list.
Spectacle strip.
The little lace, just so beautiful, very sweet. So that's that one. And yeah, so my options would definitely be knitting for olive, any merino, cotton merino, silk, or Arctic Pearl for that one. Arctic Pearl is a good swap out for a knitting for olive fingering weight yarn. You can kind of swap them out. Right, it is definitely hot in here. I'm definitely drinking more coffee than I usually do. Let me know if you've got any questions or wanting to know what would work with what patterns. If you're all just sat there boiling in the sun, taking it all in, go for it. That's what I'm here for. Right, the next one we've got is the Little Something Tee by Mini Me Knit Design. And it looks like it is a simple little V-neck tee. You can make this any length you want. It's top down, and you can make it a normal sized t-shirt for sure. The designer has cropped it here and used it as a layering piece, which I also think is really, really cute. And if you're cropping it, you might go up a size to what you would normally use for a normal t-shirt. Depends how you want to wear it. But I love this wide ribbing detail and then this eyelet detail right down the middle. And the thing about this one is the recommendation that they're using is 2 lace weights held together, and that gives a really airy feather light fabric. Beautiful, beautiful, completely agree with it. Some people don't like holding 2 yarns together, so we've got some options if you don't. So a big seller here, you all love it, it's so affordable. It's £6.80 for 400 meters. Look at that colour on that camera. Okay, I'm going to be fair, the camera is making it a little bit brighter than what it is. This is the Fiesta that I was talking, somebody was saying they were knitting with this right now. It kind of is glowing in the camera. It is bright, it's not quite that bright. And this is 100% alpaca lace weight. This held double would be perfect for that little tee. You could hold 2 of the same colour together. This colour is beautiful as well. And this one is Gladioli. It's stunning. So you could hold 2 of these together. You could hold 2 different colours together. This camera is not doing good. These are actually 2 different colours, but you can't see it in the camera. These 2 together held together would be, so you would get this really subtle marbling. So from far off, it would kind of look like a mix of these 2 colours, but as you got close, you would see little flecks of this, little flecks of this. I love holding 2 of these in different colours together. It gives such a beautiful fabric. And because this is a really plain V-neck t-shirt, it's not going to take away from anything. Stunning. But we've got loads of neutral colours as well. This sagey type green is super popular at the moment as well. We've got some bright yellows. We've got pistachio, which is this intense bright green. The colours this year, gorgeous. So you could do that. Then this is another option. This is another lace weight, and again it is 100% alpaca. And I'm just checking to see, because it's so funny how, yeah, this is lace weight as well. It's the exact same thickness as the other one, but the ball bands recommend different needle sizes. So it just shows you that the ball band is just an indication, it's a guide. Sometimes we do swatching and it comes up very different to what's on the band. These are more muted. These are all hand dyed. So you can see you've got these slight striations in them, which just give a really, really subtle variation in the finished fabric. Holding these double again, absolutely. So this is La Mana Pure Arta. You could hold that together, 2 threads together, to get the same finish as in the pattern. But another option we thought of, and really I should grab another colour as well, is this new yarn we've got in the shop called Loom. Now, it's called alpaca linen. We've called it alpaca linen silk on the website, just so that you know that there is silk in it. So it's 50% baby alpaca, 25% linen, 25% silk, all hand dyed. I'll just show you these 2 colours at the moment. We've got 2, 4, 6, we've got 8 colours in. One of them is undyed and it's just beautiful. But I'm going to just show you these. So again, there's a bit of variation because it's hand dyed, but also because we've got alpaca, linen and silk, they're all taking on the dyes slightly differently, and it just gives you this really subtle variation in colour, which will just give your finished fabric so much more depth. It looks so much more expensive. Really beautiful. And then the undyed one is such a pretty, it's coming out a bit more white on the camera. It's a little bit warmer in real life. I wouldn't say it's more yellow, it's more cream, but really gorgeous. And one of them has got lots of speckles, but we've only got 1 skein left. We've got more on order and it should be coming in the next couple of weeks, but I'm just going to show you a bit of it. Little flecks of blue and pink, really stunning. That one is called Wildflower and we've only got 1 of those left, but we're waiting for more. So this is a 4-ply, but you can knit it all the way up to like a DK weight on a 4mm, but it would give you a really open, airy fabric. You could hold it double on a 4.5 for a DK weight. Single for a closed-ish fabric, 3 up to 3.5, like a sport weight. But that would be beautiful for this pattern as well. Just so you know the colour. Sorry, I'm being too quick. Tell me to slow down. This is Persimmon, this sort of copper colour, I would call it. Murmuration, which is, I'd say, more blue. It's blue-grey. And then that one was Wildflower with the little speckles. And the speckled ones have been really popular, so we might get a couple of more of those in different colorways because you all seem to be really liking those. But when it comes to this top, genuinely, there's so many things you could use. I did have a piece of paper with a list. Little something tea. So I've got, yeah, Titicaca, Pure Arta, both held double. Loom, I would hold that single. But things that we've spoken about already. Alice, which is by Room with the merino and the linen. Vea, which is the cotton, merino and yak. Antigone, 100% linen by Room. Look at that. It literally looks like a piece of fruit. It's so gorgeous. Love Tanned is another one. This is actually a DK weight and it's a chainette, 100% linen. I knit my Bousson tee with it. I'll show you the fabric. It's asking for 24 stitches on a 3.75. Because it's such a loose, oversized type piece, if you're getting about 24 stitches, then you can have really open stitches at 24 gauge or quite close fabric. And that just depends on what thickness of yarn you're going to use with it. If you're going to use that, like she's done it, like quite cropped and layered over something, you could go much more open. You could go lace weight single if you really wanted to. You just have to do a gauge swatch, but then that would be really open. So the suggestions I've made are for it to kind of look a little bit like what she's got in the pictures. But all of those different suggestions will be listed in the blog next to this pattern. A really pretty one. Coffee sip, and then time check. Oh, 10:36, and I'm over halfway. Amazeballs. Is everyone on iced coffees at the moment? My mum was one of those people that always used to have hot drinks in summer, and she'd say it helped cool her down. I tried it last week, and I just know. I just don't think it's right. Sorry, Mum. Anyone else? So this one, I'm thinking about making another one. So this is actually what I'm wearing today. This is the Camasole No. 7 by My Favourite Things Knitwear. I knit this so long ago now. It's knit with Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, single strand, and I'm going to move the camera down now, but I feel like I'm not trying to show you my chest or anything. Sorry, it's a bit weird. I just want to show you the structure of the fabric if you can see it. It's got this really pretty broken rib, which makes the fabric feel a little bit thicker actually and gives it more structure. And it has this beautiful detail around the bust line. Loved knitting it. It was brilliant. So again, like I said, Knitting for Olive Pure Silk, you could swap it out for Knitting for Olive Merino, Knitting for Olive Cotton Merino, or like we said before, you could swap it out for Arctic Pearl if you're looking for something to try this yarn in. Again, we've got all the colours, they're absolutely beautiful. And again, that would just be held single. This would have more drape and a little bit more sheen than the flat raw silk. But yeah, this is an oldie, and there's zero wear to it, isn't there, Amelia? There's no bobbles at all anywhere. No. It's a good lasting piece. So let me just move you. There we go. So yeah, those are my two suggestions for that. I wouldn't mess around with it any more than that. Really pretty detail. Let me see if I can get a closer picture there, so you're not looking at my bust. Hers is much nicer. This little detail here under the bust line, it just gives you a bit of shape and it sits really nicely. So yeah, that's a really popular one. Right, next one. Please do ask questions. I should be checking really because I'm asking. Has to be tea you can stand your spoon in? Yeah, I am. When it comes to tea, I just like proper builder's breakfast tea. Hot coffee all day, every day, see? Yeah, my mum would agree with you. Absolutely. Strong tea. Everyone's going for strong tea. I have to say, a cup of tea quenches my thirst. Coffee doesn't quench my thirst at all. It just wakes me up. Hot cup of tea to cool you down. Absolutely. Oh. So what you're saying is I really should listen to my mum, right? Okay. I'm going to try it again. Maybe I'll try hot tea rather than hot coffee. Because when I have coffee, I have milky coffee. And so I don't find milk particularly refreshing. I was in Somerset at the beginning of the week and went to Loom Wool. Oh, wonderful. Beautiful yarn. Can't wait to knit with it. And I definitely buy the alpaca silk for another project. She was she is. And I love her muted colours. We were looking at some of the British bases as well when we get out of summer, like the Gotland and the BFL. So let's see how it goes. Mums know best, yeah. I just would never have told her that, but do you know, if I had the chance now, I would. I definitely would. I'm sure she knows. I've got a little picture of her and my dad in the corner of the shop, because I like to think of them looking. Oh, let's not start. I don't want to cry. Right. Colry by Hannah Maciejewska, maybe. There's a moment in every woman's life when they realise their mum was right. Yeah, about everything, Ruth. Like, everything. And my brothers tell me as well that I'm getting more and more like her with my views and what I say, how I say it, mannerisms, everything. Oh, love you, Mum. Right, Colry. I love this just because it's got a bit of colour in it. I love neutrals. I'm very autumnal, but there's something about summer specifically for me that I just want something a little bit brighter. And the fact that you can have a play about in colour on this one. So the interesting one about this is the structure is it's knit in one piece, flat. And then you can see it's got buttons down. Oops, it helps if I show you on the camera. It's got buttons down one side. So it's knit top down in one piece, and then you fold it around, and that's where the buttons go. Fingering weight on a 3.5mm needle. There's just so much. Like, there's so much you could use. If you want something nice and summery like it looks in the picture, it looks a little bit open, a little bit translucent. It's not like a super tight closed fabric. Things I would go for horse silk again. Let's grab a different colour. What about this dark navy? You can see a little bit more of the flex of the linen in there. Usually it's the linen that is a little bit lighter than the silk. So horse silk, loom, you're going to see all of these same ones again. Horse silk, loom, Alice, probably Vea as well. Vea would be good for it. Vea's more sport weight, but on a 3.5, 23, 24 stitches, absolutely. So these are all single, absolutely just holding them single, so it wouldn't even take that much. And actually you might get away with Antigone as well if you've got some, especially if you've got some left over from another project, because there's like one little box down here that wouldn't take much of it at all. Yeah, I think, so again, this is one, it says on the ball band 20 to 22 stitches on a 3 to 4mm. That is not what I find with this yarn. I find on a 3.5, I'm getting more stitches than that. That's why I think it would be suitable for this one. Really light top, horse silk, beautifully light as well. If you wanted something with a bit more of a closed fabric, a bit more of a t-shirty feel, you could be doing onion cotton, you could be doing Alice, you could be doing Vea, I've already mentioned. I think that's maybe it. Is that all I had on my list? Yeah. But again, a ton of options. It might just be which one comes in colours you really like. That might be the thing that makes you go for one rather than the other. But that's the colliery. And also you get to buy buttons, which is either a love or a hate with most knitters. I love buttons. I love a button. Right, 1044. I'm going to do this one, and then I'm going to go on to the ones that Amelia and I are knitting, because they're quite summery ones as well. So this is the Laurel sweater, again by Minami Knit. So we've already seen one of hers. I'm going to try and zoom right in on the picture so you can see. So I just really like these raglan sleeve details. Oh, the sun's coming out now. Just here. I just think for, again, a simple T shape that you've seen a million times before, that is just really pretty. I really like it. And it's not small either. It's quite a broad band down either side of that raglan increase. So again, it's top down. It's looking for a 4mm 20 stitches. It's like half of this shop you could use. There are so many options. If you're looking for a, we're trying to keep to summer vibes today for this one. If we're looking for summer, I would be suggesting Love Tanned by Camasole. So again, just grab that one. So that's this chainette, if you can see it. Sorry, my nails are. You can see it there, yeah? it's just a chainette, so it's been knitted into a tube, and so it makes it much lighter. We got a ton of colours of that. That would just be on its own. That would be beautiful. I've also got down here Titicaca held with Antigone, and so that would be, let me find something. So that would be like holding these two together. So you've got the French 100% linen Antigone by De Rerum Natura, and held with this lace weight alpaca. And I have knit a couple of things in that combo. I knit my Feldberg in that, and now I'm going to just get a bit of, so the two browns were slightly different shades, which I love. Yeah, you can see bits of the shiny linen coming through, and then the matter darker bits are bits of the Titicaca alpaca. But you can see with the lace work how beautiful it is, and essentially that's what's happening here. It's just yarn overs to make little eyelets, so you can see how that yarn combo really allows those to stand out. So that would be a perfect combo. Because of the linen though, just to let you aware, it's got a bit of a weight to it, which I love, and it would make it sit beautifully. But like this past week, I wouldn't be wearing, that would be a bit too much for me. Whereas the Love Tan that I first recommended, this is the Busan tee, and I'm just showing you the fabric. It's open, but you can see how great it is on stitch definition. So again, for those sections of lace work, it would be beautiful, really beautiful. What else have I got? Loom held double, absolutely. So the loom that we were talking about, 2 threads of that would be gorgeous. You can knit this on a 4 on its own. It's just whether, for the t-shirt, I feel like that would be a little bit too open for me, but you could always do a swatch and decide if you wanted a double or single. And again, any of the Knitting for Olives held double, your merino, cotton merino, it would be great held double, and your Arctic Pearl held double, or one Arctic Pearl held with one Suave, which is like a brushed cotton. Again, like I said, there's a lot of combinations, so these will all be listed on our blog later on this afternoon, so you can actually go and click on the links and see them rather than having to remember all this, because I've put it together and I don't even remember. So but yeah, I thought that was a really, it's quite feminine, and she's styled it with this like really pretty ethereal floaty skirt. Really pretty. I love that one. Okay, since it's 10:02, I'm going to go to the ones that we're making at the moment. And this information about this is on the newsletter that's going out tomorrow anyway. So again, I don't know if, I'm not assuming that you're all following everything I say on Instagram, but at the weekend, on the day that I got this silly burnt nonsense, I wanted to cast something on. I couldn't be bothered swatching. I knew what I wanted, and I just thought, yeah, that on that needle, I'll do that. And I have no idea how it's going to turn out. Most people said they didn't know either, but they were in for the ride, which I love. And the next closest was people saying I do that all the time, so I feel less alone. So this is what I'm knitting, the Mabel by Hannah Maciejewska. Oh, have I said that before? Oh, has she done another pattern? Bear with. Or am I just making this up? I feel like I've said her name before. Oh, she's the one that did Colliery. It's the same designer. I'm not going crazy. Well, I am, but I know why. I didn't realise it was the same designer. That's hilarious. So yeah, the Maybell. And it has, I'm going to try and find a picture that you can see because they're all in the sunlight. Maybe this one. So it has a little detail under here, and it has some ribbing down the middle, and in the neck, I don't know if you can see, it's quite a broad ribbing up here, and then the ribbing gets narrower and narrower towards the front, so it's kind of like a shaped feature around the neck, which I think is really pretty. So they were using wool linen blend, 22 stitches on a 3.5. I mean, we're talking Alice again, we're talking Love Tanned, Loom, Horse Silk, it's all the same stuff again. And I'm using Pure Silk. I just need to find my pattern now, my project, to show you. So, and both is interesting. So the structure of this one is very different for me, and the one that Amelia's making is a new structure that she hadn't done before either. So we're both learning new things. You're never too old to learn in knitting, never. So, I mean, this is definitely a trust the process, because can you tell what it is yet? It is different. So this is the back of the neck, and it's knit this way and this way, and then stitches are picked up here and you make this back panel, then stitches are picked up here and here, and then it's knit. So if I put this round here, this is how it's gonna look. So this yarn will give a bit on blocking. So this has got a little bit more to go. So that's the neckline. This one's going to come round and be the other neckline here. And then that's the back shoulder seam. Does that make more sense now that it's actually on a body? But yeah, this is Horse Silk. This is on, so the pattern's asking for a 3.5. I've gone up to 4 because I want it to be a little bit more open. I don't know if you can see that. But I didn't know what it would be like with the texture around the neck, because I wanted you to see that. But you can, if I put it there, it's subtle, but you can definitely see it. It's really pretty, and I love how that piece of ribbing shapes around. Really interesting structure, really enjoying that. Unfortunately, I did a lot of knitting on Sunday, and then my hand was playing up, not because of knitting. The rheumatologist said that knitting is really good for it and it gives it lots of exercise, but I get troubled with trigger fingers, so we had some injections and things, so I haven't done much this week, so it hasn't really moved on. But I think it's starting to, the steroid is definitely starting to kick in, so I'm very excited to get back to knitting that one. But yeah, mine's is going to be, I wanted it to be a bit, I don't know, I'm going to see when it blocks. This is what happens when you don't swatch. I think it might be slightly smaller than I was anticipating, but I wanted it to be oversized, so it's still going to fit, absolutely. I just don't think it's going to be as big as I was kind of thinking. But we'll see when I block it. I gave this one a really good block when I last washed it, because it was just a little bit too tight, and even though it's 100% silk, I still got a good inch out of it. So yeah, so that's the Maybelle. Completely different yarn, different needle size, slightly different gauge. Yeah, I will report back and let you know. And I hadn't seen this one. This is Amelia's project. This is the Buckle Top by Tune Baker. Amelia doesn't know either, for once. She's really good at pronouncing things. And it says, from the front, it just looks like this classic tee with a pretty cinched in waist. And it's cinched in by this little buckle section at the back with the strap, so it's adjustable. Unisex, because I believe that there isn't actually any shaping around the waist. The shaping's all done with the buckle. Really, really pretty. And when we first looked at this, it was one of those ones where, so they're suggesting knitting for olive merino at 24 stitches on a 3mm needle. I mean, you can definitely get 24 stitches with knitting for olive merino, but I personally wouldn't be able to get it on a 3mm needle. So I'm going to just show you, is it okay if I grab this? Do you want to talk about it? No, she's okay. She's okay today. Coffee hasn't hit. So she's using Alice. We all love it. And it's got the most incredible little shoulder structure. If I just show you, isn't it pretty? So you've got this seam here where you've had the increases coming out of, so like a raglan style, but with a couple of stitches down the middle. And then I'm assuming, were these stitches picked up along here? Yeah. And then the stitches were picked up here to carry on in the round. So just a new structure for Amelia, and she's really loved it. And it's giving quite a, I'd call it almost like a tailored shoulder. It's like a sewn in shoulder, a bit like coconuts actually. So I'm really interested to see how that turns out. But Amelia is loving this yarn, and Alison is knitting with Alice as well. She's knitting the yoke back tee. And I put this in the newsletter for tomorrow. She sent me a message saying, can I just stay off work today and knit with Alice all day? Like, she's really loving it. Oh, maybe I should knit that asymmetric top with Alice then, because I'm feeling very left out. Everyone's got it on their needles except me. I'll have to have a think. Oh my God, 10:57 and I'm done. I'm sure I must have forgotten something because I always go over an hour. Is there anything anybody wants to ask me? Shall we try and close this at 10:59 just to let the Instagram gods know that I can talk for less than 1 hour at a time? For anyone, lots of people have been joining just lately. Just to let you know, you can watch this again on Instagram because I post it there. We're also going to put a list of all the patterns, all the yarns we've recommended on our blog later on this afternoon, so you can just go there and use the links. And we're going to try and maybe see if we can upload this onto YouTube as well, if you don't like watching things on Instagram. If we do, we'll put a link on the blog to that as well. Any questions, anyone? Oh, there's people still joining. I'm so sorry. We're just at the end. You will see this when I post it on the grid, and you can... Oh, I remembered. Oh, God. So, for local people, we have a monthly knit and natter. We have it on the last Sunday of each month. You can book through the website underneath workshops and events, search for knit and natter. We are up to 50 spaces now, and they sell out. I've got a lot of people on the wait list and a couple of people messaging me. So I've been in touch with the hotel this morning because there's definitely more seats dotted around, and I've asked them if we can up the spaces for this Sunday to see how it works. They have agreed. So when I get off this call and I put this on the grid, I am going to go online and open up another 10 spaces for our knit and natter this Sunday. If you've signed up to be notified of spaces becoming available, if people cancel, you'll get a notification when the spaces go on. So I've managed to get another 10, and then I'm going to talk to them during the week to see what they believe the biggest number we can get in. We are by far the biggest regular monthly knit social in London now. It's incredible to have 60 people joining us. It's such an amazing community, and always seeing new faces joining us as well. So yeah, just to let you know, that'll be happening about 10 minutes after this finishes, because I'm stupid when it comes to tech and it takes me that long to figure out how to put this on Instagram. Yeah. Any questions then before I end things? Let me just have a look. Oh, people are still joining. You'll be able to get a top up of your coffee and go through all of this in about 10 minutes when it's reposted. I don't think I've missed any questions. Such an interesting construction. Looking forward to seeing the end product. So that would have either been Amelia's buckle top or my Maybell. We will keep you updated for sure. I think we're both quite desperate to wear them, so that motivates us to get things finished a little bit quicker. And oh yeah, and Amelia said to me, I was thinking, what do I need to remind people of? Also to let you know that Google reviews, I hate doing this, Google reviews really help small businesses. So does sharing what they're doing on Instagram and things, all of that about visibility. And we rely on you guys so much, and we're so appreciative of everything that you do. If you've come to the shop and enjoyed your experience, or if you've received your yarn nice and quickly and you've loved using it, do please go onto Google and leave us a review. We pull a name out the hat every month and you can win a 20% off voucher. We don't get tons of reviews, so there aren't tons of people in the hat, but if that's something you fancy doing, it's just a free way to help and support a local business. This is not just for us, this is all local businesses, anyone that you shop with. Certain businesses, it's a bit harder during the summer. Knitting's quite a seasonal thing, even though we definitely are all-weather knitters, but it's just a free way to support a small business. And if you're sat there with a coffee and are thinking about doing it, we'd be very appreciative. Any questions about this, once I've posted it, you can pop them in. Amelia or I will get back to you and answer as quickly as we can, or you can email us or DM us. But if you've got a question, typically there'll be many other people that have the exact same question. So if you pop it actually in the comments, then other people can benefit from the answers that we give as well. Let us know if you like it. Let us know if you're excited to see it on YouTube. We love talking to you guys and connecting, and Instagram is one of the main places we do it, so we really appreciate it. And maybe we'll see you this afternoon or this weekend, or at the Knit and Natter on Sunday. Go get another drink, hot or cold. I'm going to try the hot tea next, and we'll see you again soon. Take care, guys. Bye.